Kick your legs. Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Binning. This is Marta. We have a special guest today, our dear friend Sandy. We wanted to share another story of someone who's successfully completing our Metabolic Reset program. And this is Sandy. Sandy is a Metabolic Reset hero. She has an amazing story to share with everyone. And so we're going to kind of let you kind of dictate things, but you have a lot to share. So why don't we start with, where you were before? Like, I know I think as long as I've known you, because I've known you for almost a decade, at least, right? Yeah. Over that. And you've always been at the gym. I remember one of the things clearly when I first met you, I think you were at the gym up the road, right? Yeah. And you were always in the gym, always working out, and seeing you as a patient, I didn't really see that huge change in your body. And so it wasn't like lack of effort. It wasn't because you weren't putting your hard work in that you didn't see these changes. There was something else, right? There was something missing from that puzzle. So why don't you kind of just lead us into where you were before you started this program, what you were going through, your health, your life, things like that.
As I was going through, and I had several conversations with Dr. Binning about lifestyle, and I kind of approached, as I was approaching my 50s, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and he had always stressed that 90% of your life is from your environment, from what you eat, everything that your body does, and it can be changed, and by changing your environment and your lifestyle. And he had mentioned on several occasions he was starting this program, this Metabolic Reset program. It wasn't specifically a diet, but it was about lifestyle change. So I decided, I'm going to give this a try because I believe in what he says. I've known him for a long time. He's never steered me wrong before. So I signed up in December, and I was type 2 diabetes. I had high cholesterol. I had high blood pressure. We started on the diet. He monitored very well. I was very nervous about my blood sugars because basically we took all the sugar out. I was wearing a monitor that monitored me 24 hours a day. And my readings were a straight line. I had a couple lows, but
there was a bit of an adaptation period, right? Where you kind of were dipping too low and getting lightheaded.
It was more lows than anything. But we carried on, and I learned to trust that this is okay. Once everything settled down, I was level. I was pretty much level. No ups, no downs. And if I did have an up, it was for something specifically that I ate, and it leveled out again. My next blood test, she said, your AC1s are 6.1, which is good. Mm-hmm. And she said, everything looks good. And I said, I reduced the amount of insulin to nothing. I haven't had to. So she said, okay, keep doing it, keep monitoring. I continued to monitor.
And this is your family doctor, right?
Yes, my family doctor. And she said, just keep doing what you're doing, and we'll monitor. So I just had my second appointment, and she said that everything is in proper levels. My cholesterol is normal range for a diabetic, which is actually a little bit lower because there's more risk with a diabetic than they want them lower. Mm-hmm. My blood pressure was 116/64. My blood sugars were excellent, and she was very proud. I've also lost, since I started the Metabolic Reset, almost 40 pounds.
Good. So I think, I don't know if it comes through clearly, but what you were mentioning is, I think you mentioned to me that your family doctor said you fall into a small category of diabetics 13% of them who present with like completely normal blood work.
Yep, 13% is what she said. You're in the 13% of population that had everything fell in within normal range of
and no longer any metformin, no insulin.
Yeah.
So essentially, I mean, it'd be very hard to still call you a diabetic, right? I mean, I'm sure if you went back to your old life, old way of living,
exactly. She said
everything would fall back in place.
Once you're diabetic, you'll always be labeled, because if I change from what I'm doing, but I've got it under control. So if I choose to live this way and to carry on with the diet that I keep, then I shouldn't have added problems. If I change, if I try to go back to how I used to live, which I have no intention to, everything should be good.
Awesome. Before, because I want to go back in time a little bit. I know you've done a lot of different things to kind of help get your weight under control, and it's been a bit of a journey because it's been stubborn. It's been difficult to lose it. Like, what other things had you done in the past?
Mostly in the past, I've worked out, as well as diet. I've started adding a lot of different things to my lifestyle now, like trying to relieve some of the stresses in my life.
Were there any specific like programs that you were doing? Like, were you doing Weight Watchers before?
I have done Weight Watchers.
Any other ones?
Through my life, I've done other ones. I did Herbal Magic. I think I've done Herbal Magic, which is
not Bernstein. You didn't do Bernstein.
No, I've never done Bernstein. And it comes off, but you really have to stick with it. This is a lifestyle change where it's easier. I found I didn't have any issues with the food.
Good. You enjoyed the food then? You enjoyed eating this way?
Food was good.
So
I basically kept things simple, though.
Good. I mean, you should, right?
Fancy and
life should be simple. Yeah. Make it fancy when you want to.
It
doesn't have to be prom every night, right?
Prepare in advance and have everything ready, so you're not gonna, I don't have anything, and run to Harvey's or something. So if you plan, prepare, it's easy. It's very easy.
Good. I mean, yeah, and the outcomes are noticeable, right? We've seen you kind of almost disappear into half the person you were in a short period of time. What would you say, doing this program with us, what are some of the differences between what you had done before?
I think they look a lot more at your lifestyle. I found some of the things that I've really taken a liking to is the journaling every day, learning about that positive attitude about life in general, and you're the ones that make your destiny. So if you don't like it, change it. Learning how to deal with stress is a little bit better. For the drive, the commute to Toronto, which is every day, you could get really uptight over traffic, and I've started listening to podcasts or doing some, not a meditation, but relaxing music, calming music, just to level you out.
And doing those things changes how your whole day goes, doesn't it?
It does. Starting out, doing your affirmations, what you're grateful for, and you don't have to be grateful for huge things. Just be grateful that you had a good night's sleep last night, or it starts your day off. And I very seldom miss. I feel like I'm missing something if it's not part of my morning. So
that's good. So your life has shifted, right? Like, it's become, now this is your life. There's no longer like, I mean, sometimes people that go through these processes are just dying to go back to their old life.
Yeah.
And so I hope now, I mean, that's not even an option, but you don't even feel like that would be an option, right?
Yeah.
Because you've gained so much.
One of the things that we did discuss when I first started is, first thing in the morning, I would have a sudden blood sugar spike, and the time was right when I get up, and my blood sugar would spike, and he says, so what is your routine in the morning? And you had decided that it seemed like it was when my alarm went off, and it was the days coming where, you gotta get up, go to work. And we sort of discussed a few things, and I went off the sudden alarm to a light that comes on. It slowly comes on like a sunrise,
Yep.
which wakes me up. And by the time the radio, I can have it low, and I'll wake up naturally. And it sort of
Took away the swipes.
Took away. Yeah, it's more relaxing to get up. It wasn't like, oh, the alarm went off, I gotta get up and get going. Started. So that was something that was a good change, positive change.
Good. Marta, do you want to ask anything?
I always like to ask the question about what was sort of the biggest surprise or unexpected part of the program for you?
I found once I started doing the program, my sleep has been so much better.
Awesome.
And I do usually put on a 24-minute meditation before I go to sleep, and I don't ever hear the end of it, so I tend to fall asleep and relax. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah. So sleep has been 100% better.
Awesome. I mean, sleep is one of those things that's so underrated, right? Because if you think about what sleep functions as, is that's when our body repairs from the stress. And so going through this whole process, we've talked to you and taught you about what really drives weight gain is stress. And there's a million different forms of stress. They're all just different shades of the same color, right? But, I mean, without getting good sleep, your body can't heal. And so having that one big factor come back in your life is just, this is why you feel more energetic when you wake up. You're allowing for that healing to take place. So, I mean, that's often the missing piece of the puzzle. And as you've seen, like doing Weight Watchers and doing herbal magic, none of that, there's no point in any of those programs where they talk about this. It's always eating, it's always pills, and it's always either add exercise, more pills, less food. But, you know, in our experience, chronically, people fail that.
And there was something else, another major change is because I was diabetic, so I was using artificial sweeteners, and basically I've really tried to wean myself off of artificial sweeteners, and if I do use, I'll use the stevia if I have to. And I think that the chemicals and stuff you're putting into your body that aren't natural, I try to eat grass-fed beef and organic vegetables.
Good.
It's not always available, but as much as possible.
Yeah.
I do.
That's awesome.
Good. So, you mentioned you've lost almost 40 pounds. Besides that, if there's someone out there who maybe was sitting where you were back in December or previous to that, watching you speak now, what would your kind of advice be to that person?
I'd say if you have type 2 diabetes, it's controllable.
Yeah.
You can do it. You just have to want to. You have to want to make the effort to do it, and Sadiq can help you.
Yeah, I
the
mean,
program does work.
And so, more so, I think, you know, what you're kind of getting to is, like when we started this, it was a weight loss journey.
It was actually weight loss that I was looking for, but my health has improved so much.
Yeah.
And I feel better. I've got more energy. So.
Yeah, and you got the weight loss. And so it's funny because we were talking right before this and you were saying the weight loss was a bonus.
Yeah.
And I remember specifically when we started, it was like, you know what, I
really
really want to lose weight. The health will be a bonus.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's funny how you see it now. It's completely flip-flopped.
It's flipped.
And you got both.
Yeah.
And that's what we wanted when we started, was to have that shift in both. Is there anything you want to add?
Just that I found just by me eating, the family, when we're preparing, they're sort of looking at, I've had support from my family too, and Nancy's had some benefits of weight loss just because we change and we're eating our proteins and vegetables and fruits basically. So it's been a bonus for everybody.
Awesome. Yeah, it's always great when you can kind of lift the people up you care about most.
Yeah.
And that's what we get out of this when we're doing this with people, is like, especially when you've known someone for a long time, to see you, you know, get your life back. Because I got to kind of see it kind of go the other way for you for a little while.
Yeah.
But to see that spark kind of come back into your eyes is a blessing, just to be witness to that. So, again, I want to thank you for sharing your journey with everyone who's watching. You truly are, this is why we call it a metabolic reset hero, because you represent everything we wanted to achieve through this program. And you show everyone else that this is possible. You don't have to believe that you're powerless in your life. Everyone has the power to command what they want in their life and make changes. So thank you so much, Sandy, for being a role model for everyone else.
Thank you for everything you both of you have done.
Well, you're welcome. It was our honor. And so thanks everyone for watching. If you have any questions, you can post them, you can message me, I'll get back to you. But we look forward to sharing more of these journeys with you in the next coming weeks. Okay, thanks everyone. See you later.
Bye-bye.